conversation I had with it. I think he was a roofer. That there's this common misconception that you own everything below you as well as everything above you. And he was like, no, I'm telling you, my realtor told me. And I was like, well, your realtor is not familiar with the FAA regulations, because as much as I agree with you and that's how I think it should be, right? The reality is the moment you go up above your blade of grass, the moment you go above the shingle or whatever other structure that you have on your property, the millimeter above that point is FAA airspace. And as much as we're like, hey, that's ours, no, the FAA kind of leases it out to us, or lets us use the airspace. And so I look at it where there's already the large government agencies that have, all the satellite data, they have drone data, they have, cell phone data, and of course that carries over to some of the larger companies as well. Where I see drones, they can, as much as, yes, it is still a new technology, and I kind of glossed over it with the automobiles being seen as toys for rich people, computers, same thing, like why would I want these? But you go even back further to electricity, that's where demonization comes from. Literally, the term demonization comes from people thinking there were demons inside the electrical wires. And so I think, we're just going through...
Southern Company probably knows more about that than all the rest of us.
Yes. So, I mean, there's lots of funny stories about electricity. So one I heard from the mountains of North Carolina was a grandmother, her family decided she needed electricity. Of course, she didn't think she needed it. This was, 50, 60, 80 years ago. But she got electricity, and she tells the guy that comes to read her meter that she is tired because she's paying $3 a month and she never even turns it on. So to satisfy Mama, he says, here's what you do. Get an extension cord, plug it in, run it out your front porch, let it down towards the ground, and leave it there for exactly 15 minutes twice a week. And that way, at least you'll be getting electricity. Just let it run onto the ground there and you'll get what you pay for. Which is the misconceptions of electricity at the time, what it would do and how you use it.
Yeah, and it is just, kind of surreal when you think about how little time has passed where, a lot of people were just getting electricity for the first time. I know my grandfather, he grew up in northern Florida and then mostly rural southern Georgia. And, he grew up for a good part of his life without electricity. And, here we are, now talking about that same sort of, fear of new technology rolling out in drones. And it's just getting people used to the idea and, really showing the benefits that it can provide. And, one of the common, concerns I've heard about, the privacy that you're talking about, even noise falling under that category. Where, again, hypothetically speaking, I sent the developer back from the drone park to my parents' house, and I had my dad on the phone, when it was a few minutes out. The whole operation from takeoff to landing was about 7 minutes. And so I have my dad on the phone. Hey, you should be seeing developer coming over the neighborhood, here in another minute or two. And he was looking for, I was like, hey, it's showing it's right above the cul-de-sac. And it wasn't until it was already, it was about maybe 350 feet, again, hypothetically speaking, and then maybe 150 feet before he could even tell it was up there and then start hearing it. And I like to think, and again, obviously, people can feel however they want, but if your only problem is, let's say, 30 seconds, a minute a day, you're hearing your drone come down for a landing and then taking back off again, you have no real problems, And really, if you even just look at the drone noise compared to a car leaving your neighborhood, unless you're in a neighborhood of all electric cars, your car is a lot louder than a drone coming down and landing, with your package that, prevented you from
So
going
10
out.
years from now, where do you see